What do you do when the forces helicopter you're on is in trouble and is going down? Well, if you're in the Russian army, you have one lifeline, and it might surprise you. The Ka-50 Black Shark and Ka-52 Alligator are the only helicopters in the world fitted with an ejection seat. They're the rarest helicopters to exist in the military. Never before has a helicopter had an ejection seat, until the Russian military adopted the single-seat attack helicopter in 1995, and later the two-seat variant, the Ka-52. Obviously, there's no ejection seat on helicopters, because for obvious reasons. But what if there was? Would that surprise you?
Yeah, massively. I can't see a world where an ejection seat would work in a helicopter.
While it sounds fictional, this is very much real. The rotor blades are blown away by explosive charges in the rotor disc, and the canopy is jettisoned before the ejection seat deploys. But not everyone has this at their disposal.
I think there's a lot of moving parts to that, and it'd be interesting to see, but I wouldn't want to be a part of it. I'd rather go with the procedures that we have in place that clearly work when things do start to go wrong, and we know how to, get out of an aircraft safely, and how we deal with those situations. We're reminded of every single day when we're flying.
So I'm here at RAF Shawbury, the home of the #1 flying training school, where military pilots are made, to find out just how crews can safely get to the ground if trouble strikes when ejection isn't an option. The RAF, Navy and Army Air Corps all come here to gain their wings, but first they begin on the HT-1 Juno helicopter.
Hi, I'm Petty Officer Ash White. I'm one of the rear crew instructors here at RAF Shawbury.
So Ash, talk me through what would happen for the crews if this helicopter was to come down. What's the next step?
Okay, so if we had an emergency in this aircraft, depending on the emergency and the severity, then Sergeant Pearce here might decide to adopt the seated position and strap in.
Is he expecting an impact?
Depending on what's happening, the pilots obviously communicate to us in the rear, and depending on the severity, might decide to adopt the brace position as shown. Once the aircraft is then safely on the ground and all violent motion has ceased, then he'll need to egress from the aircraft. The first thing he'll do is egress from the seat and also from his body armour system. From there, he'll look to get out of the door, utilising it in the normal fashion. However, if for any reason that's blocked, he can then go to the window and eject the window, utilising the yellow and black handle, and then pulling the orange tab. That'll help the window from being pushed out. He can then escape via that means. However, as you can see, the door's nice and open today, so he can egress from this point here. Once he's outside, he's still got to be vigilant because there's still dangers associated with the aircraft. The main one being the tip of the rotor disc, and if for any reason you had to egress to the rear of the aircraft, then the tail rotor can become a bit of a hazard there too.
Now obviously with a helicopter like this, there is no ejection seat, but what can a crew member or a pilot do if in a case of an emergency this was coming down?
If it was a case of we'd lost the engine, so we've lost the means of powering the rotor on top of the aircraft, then pilots can do something called auto-rotation, where they use the force of the aircraft descending to actually maintain rotation in the blades, and then right at the sort of the bottom of the descent they can alter the pitch of the blades, creating lift and essentially bring us to a nice safe conclusion on the ground without crashing.
Since the Second World War, the military has relied on helicopters to rescue, observe or move personnel. The Juno is essential for low-level tactical flying, night flying and underslung load techniques for military operations.
We practice emergencies all the time to make sure that we're well prepared and adequately equipped to deal with the situations that are thrust upon us. Because an emergency could happen at any point. But if you keep practicing and you remain calm under pressure and you remain calm in those situations, you're going to get the best out of the situation that you can and make sure that ultimately you and your crew survive.
Tell me a little bit about what helicopter is next for you.
Chinook's next, and probably for the rest of my career will be on Chinook's. After Benson it'll be off to Odium to the operational squadrons.
Do you feel equipped to transfer what you've learned on this one over to a Chinook?
Yeah, so everything we're taught through our training pipeline is safety is paramount on top of everything. All the stuff that we do here on a Juno sets us up as a really good foundation for future aircraft types, whether that be going on to Merlins if you're in the Navy, or Wildcats if you're in the Army, or Chinooks if you're in the RAF. Everything you do here sets you up as a nice base foundation layer to have a really solid understanding of how important safety is.
Ejecting from an aircraft is the last resort for survival. Helicopters like these don't have that as their luxury, but instead they're equipped with specialised crews who can use the elements at their disposal. Thanks for watching. For more from BFBS Forces News, like and subscribe to our channel.